Hey, it's Liz from Thrice, and it's not Wednesday, but a lot happened last week, so I thought I'd do a quick take on FTX and all the intrigue surrounding what has happened. Honestly, I think this will be a great Netflix special in a couple of months. People are calling this the biggest crypto story ever, and it involves a company called FTX, which you need to understand is FTX International, FTX US, and a company called Alameda Research. FTX International and FTX US are both crypto trading exchanges where people can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. The FTX US is highly regulated because it is in the US and it has to comply with very specific laws. FTX International is domiciled in the Bahamas and is not subject to many of those laws. And Alameda Research is a private firm that does trading of crypto assets using sort of quantitative formulas and the like, but it's a private firm and people give money there and they make bets. Now, all of these three companies are owned by one guy named Sam Bankman-Fried who goes by SBF. And there's another person in this story who came out early in the story called CZ, who is the CEO of Binance, a big rival to FTX. They are also an international cryptocurrency exchange. Now, what happened here was Alameda Research made some big bets that went in the wrong direction. And SBF, being the CEO of all of these FTX and Alameda Research, decided he was going to take some of his customer funds from the exchange platform and put them in Alameda Research to cover his losses, and basically hope that no one would notice and that the bets would, reverse and he'd be able to put the money back. However, this thing that was happening here in the background sort of leaked out, and the Binance CEO got wind of something not quite kosher and was like, hey, we're selling all our assets of FTX. And this really got people spooked, like what's going on? And there was a quote unquote run on the bank where all these people who had FTX international accounts started saying, I better get my money out too. And it turned out there wasn't enough money there to cover all those withdrawals because SBF had moved $10 billion to Alameda. Now, in the early days, the people at FTX US were okay because that was a separate pot of money. But now it appears there's at least $1 billion in funds missing. We don't know if it was a hack or a theft or what exactly has happened, but the FTX US people are also in trouble. Now, what is the big takeaway here? It shouldn't be that crypto itself is bad. The whole idea behind Bitcoin and the initial white paper and decentralized finance is that crypto itself is driven by code. It's not driven by people. It is trustless. And it is the opposite of centralization. Centralization is one guy owning a couple of companies where he has full control. There weren't even other outside board members keeping this guy in check. And he's moving money around and no one really knows what's happening. And decentralized finance, that doesn't happen. In this case, there is not only all the individuals who had their investments, but large venture capital companies who put hundreds of millions of dollars into FTX. It had a $32 billion valuation as early as January of this year. The Sequoias and the SoftBanks, maybe people aren't feeling bad for them for losing all this money, but because they were in it, many other people got in it. And there were lots of celebrities in it. Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Major League Baseball, Miami Heat, they all had sponsorship deals. So, at the end of the day, I think regulation is important and we need certain levels of regulation, but code itself isn't greedy or arrogant. These guys, these billionaires who run these firms, they have a lot of hubris. They think they can get away with things and not get caught. And in this particular case, the guy was caught. And it's very similar, I think, to what has happened with people like Madoff, WorldCom, Enron, all these companies where individuals really were doing things they shouldn't have been doing and were caught. And so at the end of the day, remember, crypto, it's an early industry. Things are, changing and growing all of the time. But decentralization is actually something that can solve these problems, not cause them. So that's our quick take on FTX. Look for our normal Web3 Wednesday video this week as Polly and I are headed to Vegas.